People, we are Tottenham TV, back here for yet another Tottenham update and a few bits and pieces to tie up, as we could be getting a double announcement today. Fabrizio Romano says that Conor Gallagher completed his medical as a new Tottenham player. Official statement next to announce him and Brazilian left-back Souza from Santos. Atletico Madrid will receive a fee of 40 million euros. And Paul O'Keefe gives us the standard tweet. Conor Gallagher is fully COYS. So, yeah, look, he's going to be in line to face West Ham on the weekend.
Yeah, which is great news. We need the numbers at the moment. And it's a big game now, because we know that if we lose that game, all of a sudden, it's getting a bit too scary there down at the bottom. So, very good news. In terms of the announcement, any predictions, anything you're expecting? Is it just going to be a standard announcement? Are they going to get anything to mug off Chelsea? A bit like we do with Kudus? What are we thinking?
I want to see him coming out and just ripping up that Chelsea badge and Chelsea shirt and say, I am fully here now. I'm Tottenham. Always wanted Spurs.
It was only Tottenham. It was only ever Tottenham. Always wanted them. Yeah, I think it's, look, for me, as much as people can have their reservations, I do think there's reasons to be excited. And I also think it's a player, as much as well we have similar profiles, we don't have enough goals coming from midfield right now. And I think he definitely adds that. And so that's also something that's being overlooked right now, I would say, when it comes to people analysing this signing. And I think a lot of people make a lot of valid points when it comes to squad building. Is it the right kind of player that we should be shelling out 40 million for? I think there are some valid arguments to say no, but I also would say when you look at where the goals are coming from right now, there's been a lack of goals from our front line, and I think our midfield, obviously Xavi hasn't chipped in with too many in the number 10 positions, or we are missing number 10s, but in terms of central midfield, no one's really been scoring at all.
When you say that, Paolini is like our second top goal scorer.
Yeah, that's fair. He's chipped in with a few, but we need someone who's going to be getting in the box regularly, and especially with how Frank likes to play with his focusing on crosses out wide, and we need someone box crashing coming into the box, and he's very good at doing that, and he's actually quite a good finisher. Although will Frank let him shoot from outside the box? That's another question.
Yeah, look, I think we've been taking more shots from outside the box in recent weeks, so there's no reason why Gallagher can't do it. I just had an idea as well. That tifo that Chelsea had with Conor Gallagher, where it says Chelsea from birth, or whatever it said on the tifo. Spurs are missing a trick if we don't do a tifo for Conor Gallagher saying he chose Spurs when we play Chelsea, man. We have to do that, surely.
Chelsea from birth, Tottenham for life. something like that. I'd love that. Especially when we play Chelsea. Have we played them at home yet this year?
Yeah.
We played them at home, yeah. Oh yeah, that was horrific. Anyway, don't want to
your mind's drifting onto the shit performances.
There's been a lot of those. No, but look, do you think there's any chance as well he battles his way into that England squad, or do you think?
Oh, for sure. Look, he was in the thinking of the England team setup before he went to Atletico. I think even in the early stages of Atletico, he was still getting into the England setup.
He actually started a game Euro 2024.
I think definitely if he performs from now to the end of the season, Thomas Tuchel will definitely think about it.
Did Tuchel manage him? No, I don't think so. Tuchel manage him?
Did he not? He must have done, no?
He might have been at Palace at that time. Maybe for a bit, actually, when in that first season when he got sacked, he might have been there.
Yeah.
For that little period. But I think...
Well, Poch came in after Tuchel, right?
Poch came in after Tuchel.
Yeah, and he was there that season.
Yeah, no, he did.
No, not in that same season. It was Potu who came in first.
Oh, right, yeah.
He did manage him. He managed him for, I think, it must have been a couple months. So he knows him. Obviously, but he's obviously battling out with... who's nailed on in that England squad then in central midfield? You got Rice. You've got Bellingham, I guess. But who's
Elliot Anderson.
Wharton's not nailed on, I guess.
I think it could be a kind of toss-up between him and maybe a Morgan Gibbs-White or someone like that. Look, there's definitely an opportunity for him, for sure. I don't think he makes a move if he doesn't think there's an opportunity. That's why he's making this move back to the Premier League at this point, in my opinion.
And yeah, there's also, that's what a lot of people say why maybe he favours Spurs over Villa is because there's just more game time here. At Villa, you're looking at the midfielders they've got and the competition is tough. And at Spurs, He knows he's been told you're guaranteed. You're coming in. You're our best midfielder. You're guaranteed game time, and also kind of like with Villa as well. Is there an argument to say, like, are they peaking at the moment? Where with Tottenham, the only way is up. Hopefully.
I don't know if it's.
don't want to guarantee that.
I don't know if he's thinking about it like that, but I think it's a move that suits all parties. I am surprised that he's chosen Spurs over Aston Villa in terms of the states of the two current sides right now. But I think this can only be seen as a positive for Spurs. Like, no matter of profiles, and yeah, I get the argument of squad building. If you're upgrading in a certain position, it can only be seen as a positive, in my opinion. And I think that's exactly what we're doing.
I think what I've seen, especially I've seen Nathan Clark make this point, the fact that is it going to hamper the development of the likes of Gray, Bergvall, Sarr? The fact that they've not like had a proper number 6 potentially next to them, is that more hampering them than being like the way we play and the game time they're getting? Like, if we were to get a proper number 6, would we see a better version of those players rather than just signing an upgrade?
I think there might be validity to that. However, I don't think those players are better than Conor Gallagher just yet. You know, they might have bigger trajectories and higher ceilings. You know, that's fair enough. But right here, right now, with the situation we're in, we just need better players. And he is an upgrade. It doesn't mean that Bergvall and Gray are just going to get no minutes now. They're still, it's still a big squad, still a long season to go, albeit we are out the 2 cups. So it does limit them a little bit. And Champions League, who knows how long we're going to last in that competition. So
Gallagher can't play in the other 2 group games anyway.
Yeah, that's just 2 games. So look, I still think they'll get minutes, and Gallagher's not going to play every single minute of every game, is he? So maybe they could even play alongside a Gallagher at times as well.
I wonder how you feel about that.
I think Bergvall and Archie Gray just got to keep doing what they're doing, keep developing in the way that they're developing. And I don't think Conor Gallagher coming in should hamper it too much, to be honest.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how he views Gallagher, in a sense that could he play him with a Bergvall and a Gray, or would he have to play with him next to like a Palhinha or a
I actually think this hurts probably Sarr more than anyone else in terms of looking forward. And I've got a feeling what Frank might be looking at here, potentially depending on who we sign as the winger, but right here, right now, with the players that we got at our disposal, I wouldn't be so surprised if we see some games with Javi on the left and Gallagher in the 10.
I've seen that suggestion as well. I've seen that suggestion that has he come in to play that role potentially, because does he trust Xavi in the centre? Have we found a solution for the left wing? Although I would say Tell's been playing very well recently, but does he really fancy Tell in that position? Would he rather have Xavi out there than Conor Gallagher in the middle? And he definitely, I think, prefers someone in the middle who's maybe more physical than Xavi. Not to say, in my opinion, that Xavi shouldn't be our number 10, and I think he's best in that role, but I'm just looking at how Frank sees it, and maybe he sees that I want more physicality in that middle. I don't want someone who's going to get bullied off the ball in the middle of the park, because that's the most dangerous place to lose it. And if once we lose it, you're opening yourself up to counters. And if we can get Conor there, Xavi off the left, then it's we're going to be more effective. Maybe that's how he feels. I wouldn't be surprised. But maybe in certain games.
Even with Xavi off the left, it's not like he's going to be a touchline winger or anything. He's going to kind of like play that inverted left wing role where he comes very much in the central areas anyway. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think it'd be quite interesting to see that. However, it wouldn't be probably my first choice. I'd prefer to see Conor Gallagher in the 8. That's where I think he's the best at. But we'll see. I think it's going to be a mix and match. I don't think it's going to be like he's going to be pigeonholed into one position and he's just going to stay there. I think he's versatile, and I think we're going to make the most out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So that is Conor Gallagher. Paul O'Keefe says as well that Souza's going to take do his medical today, as contrary to reports we heard that it was going to be earlier this week.
Lyle Thomas just tweeted saying it's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
He just tweeted 2 minutes ago.
Okay, well, Paul O'Keefe saying today.
Well, he's going to complete it tomorrow.
Yeah, so that means he's starting it today.
Yeah, final steps tomorrow.
Yeah. So, we thought maybe we'd get a double announcement today, but it looks as though maybe just the Conor Gallagher announcement. You assume it would be today, the Conor Gallagher announcement, with maybe a Souza announcement tomorrow.
Yeah.
So announcements left, right and centre at Tottenham.
All of a sudden, we're rocking and rolling in this window. But in terms of Souza, obviously, really good to have cover for Udogie, much needed. I like the fact that he's a fullback who really likes to get forward and is going to be on the outside. And now we have two options, left-footed options now. With Udogie was on the bench last game, and so he's clearly back now, and hopefully he'll start on Saturday. But I think we've seen already when Davis has come in, the little differences that just having a left footer make there is important, and I think we've really missed that. I know Spence has done a decent job. I'm not taking anything away from him, and as well, he came on the right hand side. It was terrible, but I think once he starts playing regularly on the right hand side, he'll get used to that side again, and I think he'll be even better than he was on the left hand side, in my opinion. And I think having two left footers that both like to go on the outside, both are quite fast and physical and add width, that's going to be super important. And the fact that when a dog is missing, we can have another option is really, really good.
Yeah, the thing is, though, right, we've seen it with so many players before where young players come in, we're like, with the best intentions, he's going to be here, he's going to take part in the first team. Like, there is a significant chance that Souza comes in now and Frank just goes, oh, you know what, he's nowhere near ready. Mm-hmm. So that is a key chance. So I'm not so sure if we've seen the last of Spence at left back so far this season. I think we need to see what he's all about first before saying, you know what, this guy is going to be the backup to Destiny Udogie right here, right now.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah, that was the plan with Kota Takai. He was supposed to come in. He was supposed to kind of, Ali Gold's tweet when Kota Takai came in said Kota Takai is here to be part of the first team.
But he has been injured.
He's been injured, yeah.
So whether if he avoided that injury, who knows? But maybe they clearly took the decision to loan him out. But yeah, I think hopefully Souza is ready, and I'm hoping. Look, let's see how he does. But I think if he is ready and he can contribute, it's going to be great to have two left footers there. And I think that's really, really crucial.
It's going to be interesting to see if they trust him in Premier League games, though, because I could see him maybe getting a few minutes in the Cups, but that's not a possibility anymore.
Cups, yeah.
Exactly. So we're out of the Cups. Champions League, I don't think he's going to get the minutes in the Champions League. So is he actually going to start games for us from now until the end of the season? Or if we do need to give Destiny a rest on that left back, is Spence going to be starting back on the left-hand side? I kind of probably assume that it'll be Spence.
It's hard to say. I think it'll be Souza. I think that's what he's brought in to do.
Yeah.
I think we've signed him to do that. So, look, there's a chance he comes in and he's nowhere near the level, and that might happen. But I think they're going to give him I think they'll give him a chance. Like, they'll see if he is ready. I think they're going to throw him in the deep end.
I hope so.
To be honest.
I hope so. That's what I hope.
And he might not be ready, but I think that's what they're going to do.
All right, so those are those situations. Spurs have been linked with Karim Adeyemi. Team talks say that Tottenham are being made aware of the situation surrounding Borussia Dortmund star Karim Adeyemi as they prepare to sign a new attacking option. Look, he's been a player that was highly sought after before he went to Dortmund, obviously scoring all those goals for Salzburg. Hasn't really kicked on as maybe he thought he would. I think his goal numbers and goal contributions haven't been as strong as maybe I thought.
60 million market
they
value.
Would have been. Yeah.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah, you think it'd be much lower, yeah.
Yeah, much lower, like half that.
I think he's a player with blistering speed, like unbelievable speed, and I think you've seen his value in kind of one-off games, but I don't think he's done it consistently at Dortmund since joining them. And I think I was looking at his underlying numbers last night as well, and it seems to have decreased from last year, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, he's never really been a massive goal contributor. I mean, his last big season was back in Austria. It looks like 24 goal contributions. Ever since then, it's been kind of mixed, it's fair to say. Although not horrific, 11 goal contributions and 4 must have some. But he also barely plays. I'm looking at. He must have injury problems because since he's gone to Dortmund, 24 games, 21 games, 25 games. This season looks like he's going to play the most he's ever played at 17. But it looks like he must have historic. I'm going to assume either he's just not playing because he's not good enough, or maybe he's got historical injury problems.
So his injury record this season, he's missed. No, that's last season. He missed 17 games for club and country through injury. Spent 70 days out and 3 days out. The year before, quite a few number of injuries as well. One big injury, the other one was just niggles. He seems to get one fairly big injury, if not more, a year.
Right. So that's not great.
Yeah.
And obviously for a very quick player. He's also more, I mean, depending what we want, he's definitely more of a forward than a winger, I would say. I think he's more of a guy who does try to go direct to goal rather than more creative.
Yeah, he's a very direct player.
Very direct player.
I think he's very much in the mould of the style that Thomas Frank wants.
So look, I've always been excited by him when I watch him play. He's one of those guys who does get bums off seats.
Yeah.
But is he good enough right now to upgrade on our options? Like, for example,
I think he's an upgrade on what we got on the left-hand side.
I don't know.
I think he
Maybe.
is.
Like, yeah, I mean, 60 million, I don't know where that valuation comes from. I don't know why he's so high. Maybe, look, to be fair, maybe he just plays very well, like every game, and he's just not getting the goal contributions for other reasons. Maybe that's the case. And maybe if you watch him play, a bit like Doku, maybe if you watch him play, you can see how good he is. I've never been overly, like, impressed in terms of, like, I look at him and think, wow, we have to get that player kind of thing. I've always been like that. That's a player who's always a danger, isn't he? He's always got that blistering speed. I remember in the Champions League final, they played against Madrid. He had a number of chances, didn't he? And if he had better finishing, more composure, he could have had at least one or two goals in that game. And especially that first half, I remember that really cost them.
He's always a threat, though. That's the thing. He always seems to be there, you know what I mean? Like, have those opportunities.
Yeah.
He just seems to be a bit of a frustrating player as well as, you know,
I'll probably
he's got a
loan
lot.
him.
He's got a lot of talent.
I'll probably loan him. I don't know if I'd sign him. I don't know if it's worth spending big money on it. I don't know. It depends how much they're saying.
They're not saying anything.
They're not saying anything. So,
in terms of money, no.
No. I guess if it's a cheap deal, maybe it's worth doing. I wouldn't go big on him. I mean, I'm just shocked by that valuation.
How much do you reckon his valuation should be?
Half that.
What, 30 million?
Yeah. On transfer market, yeah. Because transfer market, usually you've got the valuation, and if you're gonna buy him, you have to put at least 50% on top of that. That's how it usually works.
It's interesting because Nagelsmann seems to value him. Nagelsmann's, calls him up to the German squad quite regularly.
That makes sense though, because I think in as you say, one-off games in tournaments, I can see him maybe being making a big impact. I guess, who am I to turn down Adeyemi?
I think he's definitely better than what we've got. Like, for sure.
I don't think it's massive.
Well,
Obviously, Kudus is injured right now.
No, I'm talking about on the... Yeah, well... Yeah, if you take Kudus is better than Adeyemi, but like he would come in as our second best winger under Kudus.
I think if you give Talanodabe some development and give him a run of games, I think you'd be talking about them in the same breath as Adeyemi. I really do. I really don't think he's anything special. I'm not saying Talanodabe are amazing. I'm just saying, like, I think Tel probably has better output than him, in my opinion. Like, I think he's got a better shot on him. I just think they need more development. I think Adeyemi's good, but like, again, you're potentially signing a player to stifle the development of wingers who might have higher ceilings than him. But right now, he probably is ahead of them right now.
What value he has as well is that he can play on both wings. So that's the player that we're kind of looking to bring in this January transfer window, someone that can fill in on the right and the left, and I think he can do that.
I think I'd loan him. I think I'd loan with an option to buy, if possible. I don't know if I'd go for a permanent.
I don't know. I think we would have, if we were going to make a bid and Borussia were going to accept it, I think it would have to be at least a loan. If it is a loan with an option, or becomes an obligation if he meets certain criteria. Something like that.
I think he would probably be down on my list, potentially.
Who would be ahead? Who would be ahead of him?
Maybe Ndai. I think he'd probably be ahead of him if we can do it. Akalush.
The thing is, I was looking at Akalush as well. Like, his underlying numbers have dramatically dropped from last season as well, which is interesting. And Adeyemi is actually, pulling up probably better goal contributions than Akalush.
Similar. I prefer Akalush. I just think he's a better player.
Yeah. But like both these players, I think Adeyemi and Akalush are actually underperforming this season. So if you want one of them, it's probably a good opportunity to get them right now, if you really believe in one of them.
Get them both.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the ideal situation if we could get them both. But yeah, look,
but people talk about, when it comes to Adeyemi, like people talk about our current final, how many players get into whoever this and that, this team. Who does Adeyemi start for?
What, in the top 6?
Yeah.
Or in the top 14?
Top 10?
Top 10. Where does he start? I don't know. I think he could potentially get a lot of minutes at Newcastle.
Or ahead of Gordon.
On the right-hand side.
Yeah, maybe.
Definitely, I think. I think he's better than Jacob Murphy.
He's better than Elanga.
I mean, they've got Jacob Murphy ahead of Elanga.
Mm-hmm. Well, they play Barnes and Gordon at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, it's rare that they play both of them. I think 1 or 2 games they've played both of them.
Yeah, recently. Like, yeah, like my point being, out of the best 3 players in their front 3, is he necessarily in there? Not necessarily. Also, he can play up front, can't he? He can play a striker, no?
Yeah, mainly on the wing, but I think he has played striker once or twice. But look, I think Adeyemi is a player that he's got talent. I just think you need to be able to get it out of him. I think with the skill set that he has, there is a possibility of him, finally clicking, finally getting that development in him and actually exploding. He's got that talent.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just not sure whether he's one who's ever gonna, like, sometimes there's these players who've got all the talent but they don't ever, like a bit like Adama Traore, they don't ever fully realise it. I don't know if he's that kind of player.
He's still young though.
Yeah, he is.
23 years of age is, it's not as like he's done all the developing and this is the player he's going to be. You never know, he can still flourish into something.
True.
So look, let us know your thoughts on Karim Adeyemi. Would you like to see him at Tottenham Hotspur in this January transfer window? Is he someone that Spurs should be targeting for the wing position? And finally, this is an interesting one. Alejo Veliz. CL Merlo says that Brazilian side Bahia has an agreement in principle for Tottenham to sign Alejo Veliz. Tottenham will now look to terminate his loan move with Rosario Central to pave the way for a deal to be completed. Bahia have reached an agreement for 10 million euros for the striker. I was saying, how the hell have we got 10 million euros for Alejo Veliz? I think that's crazy. Obviously, he's done well at Rosario. Bahia are owned by the City Group, so they're part of Man City and all the rest of it. But yeah, I'm shocked that we've got 10 million euros for Alejo. What a deal.
I can't believe it. I mean, we couldn't give him away before, and now all of a sudden we're getting 10 million euros, although we are still making a loss, I think, on what we spent. I think we spent like 12 million, didn't we? But
yeah, but I'm sure there's like loan fees that we've given him to Rosario for and stuff. Maybe we haven't got it all back, but I mean, it's somewhere, it's better than a 12 million loss.
Incredible. Is he doing well for Rosario? I know he was scoring goals early in the season.
Yeah, I think they're in the off season right now, so I think he had a good season for them.
Well, that's great news. Good luck to him. Unfortunately, just one of those where we're always going to kind of think about what could have been if it wasn't for injuries and failed loan deals and whatever. I remember when he first kind of came, he had some decent cameos and looked impressive. I think he's going to leave a bit of some funny memories, being passed through on goal by Højbjerg when he clearly was injured and refused to come off. I remember. He actually did score for Spurs away at Brighton. Was also on the pitch when we beat 1 against Liverpool as well. So had a small impact in this short amount of time at Tottenham, but unfortunately we never really got to see him. So it's a case of what could have been, but wish him all the best, obviously. And it's a great deal for Tottenham, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So Spurs getting some more money in this January transfer window, it looks like, and that will be the last we saw of Alejo Veliz all that time ago. So I kind of almost forgot that he's a Spurs player, to be honest. But there you have it. 10 million euros Spurs have been able to get for Alejo Veliz. But that is your Tottenham update for now. There was another thing. Sky Sports reported that Tottenham have said, they told them that there's no player going to be available for loan this window.
Who said that?
Sky Sports.
No players Spurs are going to loan out.
Yeah, available. They're making no players available for loan.
Oh, so basically that's just a FU to anyone that wants Tell.
Tell, or they said that's in regard, obviously linking to Tell and Dragoshin.
Oh, Dragoshin as well.
Yeah, they're saying they're not allowing any more players. Obviously, they've loaned out Takai. A few players of the Championship. They're saying no first team players. They said are going out on loan.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the club stance at the moment.
I'm happy with that. I don't mind that at all. I've said already that I want to see Tel and Dragoshin both stay for the second half of the season. So, does that mean that they're open to bids to sell?
So, well, what for
For
permanent?
Dragoshin, at least.
Potentially. I think that kind of makes more sense because at least if you've got the money in, you can go and replace them. He's like you got more money to play with. But yeah, I think in terms of that being the stance, I think it definitely makes sense. Albeit, what I would say is, when the Champions League knockouts come around, we are in a bit of a pickle again with the squad. We'll have to deal with that when it comes. We'll see what the state of play is because right now,
pickle?
because there's so many players we've got to make decisions on.
Are there?
Yeah.
But we've got Bentancur, who's not going to take part.
Right, we have to make decisions whether these players are in or out.
Well, they should be out.
We'll see. Depends.
If they're out for 3 months,
Yeah.
well, I mean, we can all agree.
So we can leave him out.
If he's out for 3 months, yeah,
So what about come April and he's fit?
we're going to be out of it.
Well, so you don't plan for that.
You don't plan, but let's be real. Are we going to be in the Champions League in April?
No, but you don't plan to be out.
I would take him out. You
would take him out.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot. It depends who we sign and who we don't. But we're gonna have to do a lot of manoeuvring. Do we put Decky back in if he's going to be fit? There's depending on new signings as well. There's a lot of manoeuvring to be
If
done.
you're out for 3 months, I think it's a no-brainer to keep them out of the Champions League squad, in my opinion. Like, I don't think there's any point putting them back in because if we leave them in, we're going to be players short, and we're not. There's no chance of getting to that stage. You know what I mean? Like, if we keep them out, at least we give ourselves a fighting chance, or our best chance possible to get to that stage, and we worry about it when we get there. But yeah, those 2 players can't be in.
Solanke as well. Like
Solanke should be in. Yeah.
How does he come back in? I guess he replaces Brennan. But I think the whole thing is obviously we've already left out Maddison, Decky, Solanke, Dragoshin as well. Does he come back in into the squad right now? I think was
Takai in the squad?
No, he wasn't. We left him out. So we have to. I think. Look, we'll see what the state of players come the end of the window when it comes to who's been signed and who's been let go. But right now, I think they're in a bit of a situation again. But we'll see.
Well, if we bring in good players, then it's only a good headache to have, in my opinion. But look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have brought you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.